Tonight, we are going to witness the most anticipated match in the history of professional wrestling for the heavyweight championship of the world. Are you ready? Wrestling fans, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome, everybody, to the first ever episode of the Low Blow Wrestling Show. I am your host, Judge Lawless, sitting here with the newest addition to the PWA broadcast team, Jay Savage. How you doing this morning, Jay?
I am doing great, Judge Lawless. I'm glad to be here with you, the Hall of Famer, on the first ever Low Blow Wrestling Show.
All right. And we're here to talk about the return of PWA to York, Pennsylvania. Don't call it a comeback, people. We're coming back March 4th, 2017. This year, big show on the horizon. Hall of Fame.
Definitely.
Hall of Fame show.
So excited.
Let's talk a little bit about the Hall of Fame. This year, I've been tasked to be the MC of the Hall of Fame. I'm extremely excited for that. We've got 4 inductees this year for the Hall of Fame. Some years it's 2, some years it's 3. This year we have 4 inductees. But the difference from this year to previous years is this year we have 2 non-wrestlers being inducted into the Hall of Fame. 2 people that have undying devotion and have had immeasurable contributions to PWA in the past. Marie Berry and Iris Rodriguez will both be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Non-wrestlers. First time we've ever done that. But I feel that these 2 deserve it because there's nobody that has worked harder to help PWA behind the scenes than these 2. With flyering for shows, pushing tickets, advertising for us, talking to sponsors, going out there and just doing the work. I think it's time. I'm glad that the PWA officials finally have recognized the hard work that these 2 have put in.
Yeah, that is awesome. And it's awesome to see that category being, associated with the Hall of Fame. Not just the stars that are going out there, the people who are behind the scenes helping the company, be what it's going to be and make the show happen.
Because without people like that, we wouldn't be able to do wrestling shows. And that's one of the things that some of the fans don't get to see. Because without those people, we wouldn't be able to do our jobs due to the fact that we need help. People that are running the show, we can't do it all by ourselves, and it's people like that get nothing in return but pure joy to see us do what we do, and you can see the wrestlers go out there and live their dreams every night in these matches. And that's the only return that they get is that, and they just sacrifice their own personal time to go out there and make PWA happen. And I'm just glad that these people are getting recognized for their contributions to the wrestling business. I don't think enough people in the role that they have get that kind of recognition, and I'm glad that they are.
Yeah, that's definitely awesome. It makes me feel good as a new addition to the PWA family that it's a possibility for somebody like myself, a broadcast official, what have you, to possibly be in the Hall of Fame one day.
Anything's a possibility. Heck, I made it into the Hall of Fame. How I did that, I have no idea, but I did it. Because my one-loss record in the wrestling business wasn't the greatest. I lost more matches than I won, but somehow they sort of recognized me and for my contributions. So, and I know how hard I've worked, and these people have worked even harder than I have. But now let's talk about the 2 wrestling members of the Hall of Fame class this year. The Mac Daddy Ron Starr being one of the 2. I can't say enough good things about Ron Starr. I met the guy a long time ago. He's been in the wrestling business for a very, very long time. He's focusing now more on training some of the newer young lions that are coming into the business. 2 of those will be on the show that night. So, the next generation looking good coming out of Philadelphia area from Ron Starr. He's also going to be wrestling on this show too. Not only going into the Hall of Fame, but he's going to have a match. I'm anxious to see, how he's going to fare with that, with the excitement, of getting that Hall of Fame induction. But I'm glad to see it. He deserves it. Guy has contributed a lot to the wrestling business. He's contributed a lot to PWA over the years. Had some great matches on our shows in the past. Has brought a lot of talent along with him. Like I said, a lot of his students are going to be on our shows. So contributions. I'm glad he's getting recognized.
Definitely.
Also, the next inductee is the Patriot. Now, you can't say enough about that guy. Legendary in the wrestling industry. He has.
We could go as far as to say the VIP inductee.
That's very true. I mean, the guy has done a little bit of everything. He's been all around the world. Former star in All Japan Pro Wrestling. Former star in WCW, where he won the tag team championship with Buff Bagwell. Former star of WWE, where he had a great feud, Canada versus USA, against Bret the Hitman Hart. He was a WWE Hall of Famer. So there's definitely some pedigree there, so to speak, for the Patriot. I had one of my favorite matches ever against him in Spring Grove when I managed the Mass Medic against the Patriot. Guy hits hard and knows what he's doing. Strong as an ox too. I mean, I've never had anybody throw me around the ring like he did. Always in great shape. So, and it should be good. And he's going to wrestle on this show also. He's actually accepting a challenge from another youngster in the wrestling business, Evan Atlas. Has actually personally challenged the Patriot to a match. He said that he wants some stiffer competition in PWA, and going straight for the future Hall of Famer and legendary Patriot, I don't think is a bad way to go about trying to get noticed and by the championship committee.
I mean, if you're gonna try and make your name off somebody, I don't think the Patriot is the guy to be successful to do so. But if he does, the sky's the limit after that match. If he could pull it off.
In my opinion, if he beats the Patriot, he should be in contention immediately for a title shot. I mean, the guy's getting inducted in the Hall of Fame, and then turn around and beat the Hall of Famer that same night. That definitely, in my opinion, championship committee should just hand Evan Atlas a championship match or a Triple Crown title match right after that. There's no way they shouldn't. Beating somebody with that kind of a history and that big of a star, you definitely need to become a championship contender. Now we'll move on to some more of the other matches that we have signed here. One I'm excited to talk about, Television Championship. Eddie Valentine, sexiest man alive, versus Heart Killer, Chris Wilde, Part 3. That's right, fans. I said Part 3.
Tiebreaker right here.
The first 2 matches they had stole the shows that they were on. One was Match of the Year. The other one probably should have been Match of the Year. Both these guys, unbelievable wrestlers in the ring. Sexiest man alive. Gold image, golden gimmick for him, and he stepped up his wrestling game over the years. And I mean, this is a former CZW Tag Team Champion we're talking about here. Chris Wilde, former ECWA champion, I believe he was a heavyweight champion. I know for a fact he was Mid Atlantic champion. I can't 100% say for sure if he was ECWA heavyweight champion, but I think he was. Either way, both these guys won championships all over the East Coast, and they're going to have, I would say, this show-stealing match coming up on March 4th. Now, you got to see their last encounter where Chris Wilde beat Eddie Valentine for a television title. What do you think?
Oh, that was an awesome match. And Chris Wilde, he's been for years now proving what all true wrestling fans know: size doesn't matter. And the smaller guys are taking over. And Chris Wilde, I don't think he's going to drop that title anytime soon.
So yes,
that's
folks,
my opinion. I'm calling it.
Right there, heard it from Jay Savage himself. Right there, calling it. The White Rose Television Championship on the line in that match. Eddie Valentine, Chris Wilde, Part 3. Moving on to Mo Nichols. This is a topic that I don't really like to talk about much because I'm not a big fan of Mo Nichols. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if you've had any personal dealings with him yourself, Jay. I'm sure you did when you signed your contract, but not a fan of him at all. And I don't like the way his tactics are. I don't like the way he runs the company. I mean, yes, the guy signs my paychecks, but I have every right to say, speak my mind. That's what they pay me to be here for on their Low Blow Wrestling show. I'm not real happy that Mo Nichols is going to have an announcement because nothing's good going to come of it. Mystery announcement, he said. He has a big, huge announcement for the crowd. I don't really think it's going to be anything that's it's going to be anything good for the company. I just don't think it's going to be, and I'm sure it's going to have something to do with him getting one of his guys another championship so they can get the bigger paycheck so he can have even more money. Not a fan of Mo Nichols and his entourage. So another person coming to March 4th Hall of Fame show, Joey Badami, coming to make a statement. He is not happy with how the match he had with Ray Alexander ended at the last show when Superfan Crazy Dave came across the guardrail with a ref shirt on and counted his shoulders to the mat. 1, 2, 3. Not happy about that at all. He thinks he deserves an immediate rematch and another title shot because he thinks, honestly, he's got screwed. And I think he has a legit claim. I'm not saying that I'm a fan of the guy's wrestling. I mean, he's a great wrestler, but I don't like his attitude at all. He was a good student and then turned on his teacher, calls himself the Prince of PWA. But I would look forward to a rematch with him and Ray Alexander, to be honest with you. I think they had a great match the last time, but I don't know. He might have a legit claim. We'll see. Maybe that might be Mo Nichols' announcement. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, their last match was definitely a classic. It was chaotic. You didn't know what was going to happen. But Crazy Dave, he did have a little bit of reason to be in the ring. He kind of got beat down by Joe Badami earlier in that night.
Yeah.
Goes around, comes around.
But, in my opinion, fans should never be crossing the guardrail at any cost. But, you do go over that guardrail, you're going to have to suffer the consequences. So you never know. I mean, Joe Badami could be making a statement. It could be with Crazy Dave. Superman Crazy Dave could get another beat down coming up on March 4th. You never know what's going to happen there. Everything's unpredictable, especially when it comes to Joey Badami. You never know what's going to happen. I never saw him coming, and taking out his teacher. I thought, he wasn't always the nicest guy coming in. Had a pretty big ego, but I never thought he would stab, his own trainer in the back like he did the last show just for a title shot. So, but I think he has a legitimate claim. Maybe he'll get his title shot in the future. Like I said, I'd like to see the match. I definitely would like to see the rematch. Southern Comfort going to defend the tag team titles. Got to talk about Southern Comfort. I'm sure they're throwing back some beers right now wherever they are, waiting to hear because they have an open contract. They said, we'll take on whatever tag team you want to throw in front of us. Nobody said anything yet. PWA officials have not mentioned who's going to be the challengers for that title.
It's going to be very interesting to see.
I'm interested to see who the challengers are going to be. But either way, two hard-hitting guys in Southern Comfort. Definitely the challengers need to know that they're not in for a cakewalk that night. That's going to be, they're going to have to put in some work if they want to come away with the tag team championships.
PWA Tag Team Champions, they won them from the Solid Steel Studs.
Solid Metal Studs,
Solid
actually.
Metal Studs, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm new. You got to give me a little bit.
It doesn't matter. I don't like that. I didn't like them guys either. Speaking of them, though, what happened the last time? Drake Irons turning on Curtis Steele, and then ending the Solid Metal Studs and kicking Curtis Steele out of the entourage. That was a long friendship just thrown down the drain there because Drake Irons blames Curtis Steele for costing them the tag team championships. It's great to see those two guys be in the same building for the first time since that night's happened. It's the events of that night, so it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen between those two. I think this could be a pretty volatile situation, to be honest with you. Also appearing is going to be Frankie Picard, one of Ron Starr's students. Blackwater, another one of Ron Starr's students, going to be on the show. So right there, we're going to see firsthand the contributions that Ron Starr has made to the wrestling business. And those two guys who had a near show-stealing match the last time they faced off with each other, and in PWA. Another thing I want to talk about that I'm excited for is the return of a PWA original. His name is Core. Now, if you're not familiar with his body of work, there's not a guy in PWA history, I think, that has ever hit harder than Core. I have watched him beat guys from pillar to post for many years, but he hasn't had kind of an early retirement. He just stopped wrestling for a little while, and thanks to some injuries. But he's making his return. 4 years, hasn't been in 4 years, and he's going to come back on PWA's show on March 4th, the Hall of Fame show. We got him. We got him in, PWA original. I'm just happy to see him come back. So I want to see him beat people up, in all honesty. I might be a little bit of a sadist, but I want to see him beat people up.
I'm excited to see it. I don't know much about Core, but you're hyping him up. He's got to be something great. I can't wait to see it.
PWA original. That's the key right there. He's been with us from the very beginning of PWA's first show, and great wrestler, fantastic wrestler. Should have gotten a lot more due put to him for his talent. I mean, fantastic wrestler. We have another match that you got to personally be looking forward to: the battle of the new class of the Pro Warrior Academy.
Oh yeah!
The first two graduates of this most recent class, the Anarchist Iggy Ramon versus the Avalanche Jackson Snow. These two guys started out as friends. I mean, you've been around, you know both these guys personally. What happened?
Competition happened. They both pushing each other, and they both want to be the best. They both want to, be the best trainee, be the best rookie, be the best young lion. And, sometimes competition can ruin friendships. And hopefully, they have a good match. See who gets that first ever W in their record book. And I know that's what their whole deal is right now.
Yeah, nobody wants to start out their wrestling career with a loss. Trust me, I've done it. It's not a fun way to start out your career. That match, I'm looking forward to that match because it's the future of PWA. We're going to see two guys that have worked hard, very hard to get where they're going to be, making their debut against each other. Plus now, throwing a little bit of that personal animosity in there with the battle of who wants to be the best student, who's going to be the best trainee, who's going to be the top rookie coming out of that PWA class.
That's right.
The Pro Warrior Academy, producing some great students, always looking for new students too. So hopefully we can produce some of the future PWA, and right there is going to be the start of it with the Anarchist Iggy Ramon against the Avalanche Jackson Snow. I'm looking forward to that one. Definitely looking forward to that one. All right, now we're going to talk about the big one.
Last but not least.
Yes, the main event. King of York, Ray Alexander, defends the Triple Crown Championship against the King of Harrisburg, Rob Noxious. People, if you're not familiar with Rob Noxious, guy's a grizzled vet. Dominates Harrisburg area wrestling. Dominates Classic Championship Wrestling, the promotion out of Harrisburg. Probably has had every championship that promotion has. I've seen this guy tear guys from limb to limb. He's a hardcore wrestler. He can wrestle in a regular match. I've seen him beat people with barbed wire baseball bats. I've seen him beat people with chairs, put them through tables, throw them through thumbtacks. Seen this guy just tear people to shreds. I'm actually kind of scared for Ray Alexander's chances in this match. I mean, Ray Alexander is no slouch in the hardcore department himself, but I don't think he's ever faced anybody quite like Rob Noxious before. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to that one. Triple Crown title on the line. Hopefully, we don't see a title change because I don't want to see our championship taken to Harrisburg.
Oh man, definitely not. Now, I got a question for you. Has Rob Noxious always been the king of Harrisburg, or is he mocking Ray Alexander?
I would say he probably gave himself that title to mock Ray Alexander, but it is a deserving title because there's nobody in Harrisburg that he hasn't beaten. I mean, anybody that comes through that area usually falls to Rob Noxious. I mean, the guy's guaranteed the best wrestler to come out of that area. So, he's a grizzled vet. He's been around forever. I met him. I've been in the wrestling business for 20 years. I met him on my first show, and he'd already been around for a while. So that just tells you how long he's been around.
Wow.
But, he's just tough guy. Very tough guy, and Ray Alexander's going to have his work cut out for him defending the title against him.
Hey, our champion is not a slouch, though. He can go in the hardcores. He can go in match stipulation as well. Our Triple Crown champion, He's a champion for a reason.
But either way, this is going to be one heck of a main event. One heck of a main event. All right, fans, well, you're probably asking yourselves the one question. How do I get tickets to this show? How do I get to see this magnificent spectacle? Well, I'm getting ready to tell you right now. You get tickets by calling the PWA ticket hotline at 717-676-1470. And remember, the show is going to be the Hell on Fire Company, Saturday, March 4th. Address is 163 East Market Street, Helen, PA. The doors open at 6:30. Bell time is at 7:30. Concessions will be provided by Three Hogs Barbecue. And if you haven't had any of that, that's worth the price of admission itself. That's worth the $10 general admission ticket for itself just to come to Three Hogs Barbecue. We also want to give a shout-out to Suburban Bowl-O-Rama for helping us with this show, helping us put this show on. But once again, front row tickets are sold out too, by the way. I just want to let everybody know that. So if you're going to call the hotline, you're not going to get any front rows. All you're going to get is general admissions. $10 general admission tickets. Anything else you want to add?
I'm just excited for the show. Excited to be a part of this show, and I want to thank you once again, the Honorable Judge Lawless. It's been great to be a part of the first ever Low Blow Wrestling show.
And on that note, I'm your host, Judge Lawless, co-host here, Jay Savage. Well, thank you and have a good day.